And we back like broad straps. Is Vach Lombardi. We with the Kansas City Chiefs fans today. We're here to take a look at Pat Magic Mahomes, his debut, the magician from Texas Tech. I think he played a pretty good game today. I know he didn't have the full team at his disposal, or the full offense or whatever. He played against a pretty good defense. His very first game, he handled a lot of stuff well. There was a lot of pressure up front. Kansas City Chiefs fans, go in the comments and tell me what was going on with y'all's line up front. Are guys hurt? Were y'all resting guys this game? There's a lot of pressure up front, but Pat had a lot of easy throws. You know, he didn't get rushed into a lot of stuff. And I think once Pat keeps his composure, you know, once he calms down a little bit, this was his first game. You could see the jitters. He had to settle down a little bit, but once he starts to settle down and the game slows down for him and he gets to having fun again, oh man, Pat Magic is gonna be a gangster when it's time to play him full time. All right. So with that being said, let's take a look at Pat Mahomes right here on this first play I'm breaking down. I'm not breaking down every single play, just breaking down plays that stuck out to me that I wanted to talk about right here. First of all, we see Pat comfortable using his eyes, looking around, moving linebackers and safeties, right? Just a little bit of eye manipulation. We're going to see he's going to look to this side of the field. 51 is going to skate to that side, right? And it's going to open up the part of the field that Pat Mahomes is throwing into, right? Let me give y'all the wide view right here. Pat is going to look away, and this linebacker right here, he's going to skate over to the right just a little bit, and that's opening up this space right here. Now, Pat, look, man, the ball should be in the air right now, but you know that's throwing with anticipation, throwing guys open. Those are traits that a lot of these veteran quarterbacks don't really have a good grasp on yet, right? Because the game moves so fast. You know, these defenders are so talented these days, right? But we got to talk about it. The ball should probably be out right about now, because this is the window. You even see the receiver slow down a little bit. I guess he's expecting to get the ball right now, and that's true, because your window right there. You see this little triangle of defenders. I need a marker so I can draw on this damn screen. You see this triangle of defenders right there? Pat got to fit that ball right up in there, okay? And you might have a big yak sandwich, but Pat's a little bit late with it, and he's a little bit behind with it. Let me take you back to the next angle so you can see where he was behind with it. But that's cool. That's cool. It's just behind him. It was late, and the receiver had to turn around and adjust to it, and it ended up being a drop. But I really like Pat using his eyes right here, moving the defense, understanding where the ball needs to go. But this was the very first throw. He probably had to settle down a little bit. Yo, we got to watch this play in silencio, bro. Take a look at this. Cut the music off. Look at this. Let's go. Watch this. Look. One more time. Just man, Pat is such a gangster, man. Nobody touched him. Nobody even touched him. Look at this. Nobody even touched him. Look at that. Cut the music on. Let's talk about Pat for a minute. First of all, this is a rookie freshman. First game of his little old career, and we get offsides. We get Von Miller all up in the neutral zone. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Pat had the awareness, right? Pat even looked over at him. You saw the jump outside. Pat looked over at him. He said, "Oh, that's a free play, right?" And Pat's gonna get his eyes downfield. He's gonna find the guy going vertical. Pat has an arm. You don't want this kid to have free plays, man. Pat got an arm. Look downfield for the vertical guy, and look at this throw. Look at this throw. High over the defender, in front of the safety, only where the receiver can catch it. Look at that. Texas Tech. It's another play that wasn't bad. I just really want Pat to settle down right here. And you can tell Pat really has an idea of where to go with the football, the throws to make, who to hit. We just got to see him get the ball that accurately, and we know that he can make these types of throws. This was an easy throw to make. Pat just got to settle down and see it a little better. He's gonna have to get the ball to this slot guy crossing over the field right here. That's cool. The ball probably could have been thrown there, knowing that the receiver has a pretty good step on this dude, man. Look at all the space he ends up getting, right? Like, the receiver's hip to hip with the linebacker, cornerback, whatever it is. I'll see in a second. The receiver's kind of hip to hip with him right now, and that's cool. But man, that's wide open as it gets. And the ball, you miss one right there, Pat. You miss one. It's cool. Just settle down, settle down, and you'll be fine. Yeah, we all know Pat got that cannon. No, he'll work on it. Texas Tech. Texas Tech. YouTube Illuminati is taking money away from your favorite content creators, and people often ask the best way to support the channel directly. I tell them that subscribing to my Patreon. Just $1 a month would increase production and the frequency of uploads. Basically, that means more content for you. For less than a bag of almond M&Ms, you can support the channel, call dibs on requests for future videos, and you can have access to Patreon exclusive material like my throwback film sessions. That's patreon.com/Vach Lombardi. I appreciate the support. Doski Woski. Salute. Let's see what's going on. This play right here. Let's see. Take a look at this, man. Pat's a big old boy, man. I'm gonna need y'all to do y'all research. I'm not the combine nerd, so somebody go in the comment section and tell me his measurements, his height and weight and all that type of stuff. But Pat's a hard dude to take down, man. He's a big old dude. Big old thick dude, man. But first of all, seeing the pressure coming right here, not really panicking, right? Because Pat does have legs. Pat can run if he wants to, right? But the fact that he just avoids the rush, right? Gets back into his fighting stance. I call this the fighting stance. Gets back in his fighting stance. Finds a guy downfield and delivering a strike. Man, look at this touch by Pat Mahomes, man. And number 12 just been eating all day. Whoever number 12 is, Kansas City Chiefs fans, let me know who number 12 is. But man, look at the touch you got to have on this throw. Just like the throw earlier, right? This ball had to be in front of 27 and over top of the receiver, because you see this DB kind of coming in from this side right here. So you can't simply just put it in front of 12, because it'll, you'll be throwing it to this DB right here. It had to be in front of 12, but over the top of him. So he has to reach out far like this to grab it, right? But it's out of the reach of this defender right here, and it's clearly in front of him. He's out of the picture, but it has to be thrown in front of him. That's the flash of brilliance that we getting from Pat, right? Like, we saw some bright spots in this game. Now, I'm cutting out a lot of stuff. It was a lot of easy throws, a lot of college level stuff, a lot of dump offs, Texas Tech type of things. That's cool, but you can see in these handful of plays, man, Pat got some ball placement. Pat got some touch. Like I said on the last play, man, Pat feels comfortable with throwing the ball to number 12. You know what I mean? Gets it to him right here. He just has this rapport with him. You know what I mean? So if you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan moving forward, or somebody in that general or the general manager, somebody in that front office, keep number 12 around, man, because Pat likes to throw it to him. And at some point, you're gonna add Tyreek back into the mix, and you're gonna get your full cast of characters. Travis Kelce. I don't think Travis Kelce played this game, but you're gonna get your full cast of characters. Just an easy little dump off the 12 right here, easy peasy, right? And that's really what you need as a young quarterback. You need guys that you're comfortable throwing the ball to. You need rapport builders, and he was comfortable throwing the ball to number 12 all game. This is Pat taking a knee. This is Pat taking a longer knee. I really liked Pat's ball placement on this back shoulder fade right here, right? A lot of guys aren't good at back shoulder fades. They just don't understand the concept of it. And we saw that in my film review that Pat was capable of making such throw. Okay. Now I love this. A lot of guys like for their back shoulders to be because they all come in different shapes, sizes, and colors, right? Some guys want their back shoulders to be closer to this pylon for the receiver had to come back to get it. They want the ball to be closer to this pylon so the receiver can just keep running to go get it. I like this approach, man. Get to the end zone, right? Like get to the white line and turn around before the DB even know what's going on. Is that Von Miller? Let me get a close look. That may not be. Okay, that's 38, not 58. Okay. I was about to cuss everybody out. But yeah, man, just the placement on this football, man, it's just, I like it. And for Pat to be young and a rookie, freshman, very first game in the league, I really like this. And the kid could have had another touchdown, but a receiver dropped. Anyway, I'm just cutting off a lot of stuff, man. Pat ran it in for a touchdown, and Pat had another touchdown, something like that, 230 something yards. Didn't want to show the whole film. Didn't need to. Just wanted to show what really stood out to me. Like I said, he had a lot of Texas Tech plays, a lot of dump offs, a couple screens, bubbles, things like that, just to get him comfortable. Andy Reid is great with doing stuff like that anyway. But it's going to be a bright future for Pat Mahomes, man. Now, would I necessarily get rid of Alex Smith right now? I don't know. I don't know if Pat's ready for the full load just yet. But it was good to see him come in, get some reps, not totally rip the game to shreds. He had some moments of greatness. He had some bad throws, some things that when you watch it on the film tomorrow or the next day that he's gonna have to work on. What I like the most is he had a 2-minute drill at the end of the game. I ain't show that neither. Why? Because it was a bunch of easy dump off throws and kind of basic reads or whatever. Nothing too extravagant. But he did have a 2-minute scenario at the end of the game where he did pretty well in it. He led his team to a victory, 200 some odd yards and 2 touchdowns in the game. Salute Pat Mahomes. With that being said, I'm Vach Lombardi. Follow me on Twitter, VOCHLOMBARDI. Join my Facebook group, Lombardi's Draft Talk. There's about 4,000 people in there just arguing about football and other stuff. And hey, man, don't forget about the Patreon. The Patreon's important. It's more important than drinking food and eating food and drinking water. You know what I mean? So don't forget to support me on that. It's Vach Lombardi. Y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski and the Peasky Whiskey. Salute.